Welcome back, or welcome if you're a little late to the party. Um, guess what, baby?
What?
We have a guest. Finally, it only took like 3 months to con somebody into jumping on here with us.
Well, that's awesome. Who we got?
Well, I don't know what name to call him because I know him as one name, but his Discord name says another name. But we're just gonna say Hunter.
We can go with Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. See, now he chimes in. There we go, Hunter. And I'm also gonna turn him up just a tad because he's. Maybe it's my earbud. Hang on, let me turn my headphones up a little bit. Let's see if that helps before I mess with your mic settings. So, Hunter, what would you like to talk about tonight?
That's a loaded question because our conversations always kind of drift from one thing to the next. What is on your guys' mind at the moment?
Way too much, and we're not here for you to be a therapist tonight. Not yet, anyway. All right, hold on. Wait about 30 minutes, and then we'll probably get in the weeds.
There we go. I don't know. Why don't we talk about kind of where this all started from?
Works for me. Works for me.
We started from, of all things, playing a video game.
Exactly. Guild Wars 2.
Yep.
I remember. We were in Fractals, I think, the first time you participated with us.
Yes.
And then you joined the guild, like what? Wasn't it about a week later? Something like that? Yeah, it may not have been a week. Yeah, it may not have been a week, but it was something like that. Because where were we at? I remember where, but I can't tell you where it was. It was, we were outside of some little cave thing or something, or maybe we were doing one of the guild missions, possibly.
Yeah, we were trying to do like this worm race.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because we kept having to go around the thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that was, how long ago was that now? Like,
jeez,
3 years ago? 4 years
something
ago.
Like that.
I think it was 3.
Wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was 3. It was just right after COVID.
Yeah, because we started playing Guild Wars in I think it was somewhere between August and October of 22. No, 21, I think. And then you joined somewhere around October, November. Sounds about right, roughly.
About right. Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Doesn't it, though? And I haven't even played Guild Wars 2 in like 2 years now.
I just actually started getting back into it.
Well, I'm going to, like, when the expansion comes out, in 2 months, roughly?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's kind of amazing how I think for the first 6 months we didn't even talk. We just chatted.
Yeah. There was casual conversation and pretty much game specific stuff, I guess.
And then it kind of picked up from there just because we were playing together so much.
Almost daily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we might not see each other daily, but leave a message, send email, whatever the thing was in the game. Can't remember what it was called right now. So always say something.
I'm fixing to show my Guild Wars knowledge. You said a worm race. Is that the little thingies that pop out of the ground and you have to kill them or whatever?
Okay,
no, this.
Yeah, she backed the conversation up.
I'm sorry.
It was like a timed thing, and you had to. Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like we were kind of running through a cave, say an obstacle course type situation. Not really, but it's more set up like that.
Okay, so it wasn't little things in the train and where they're popping up out of the gardens.
Well, there were a few, possibly. like I said, it's
Yeah,
been
and that
like
was like
3 years ago.
Right.
yeah, it
Well,
was
like
the bowl
Taylor
people.
Taylor tried to
Yeah,
help me like get into it and play it and all that kind of stuff, and I think that's like as far as got. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it when I did it, but
she has no hand-eye coordination.
none whatsoever.
Yeah, those jumping puzzles can be pretty brutal.
I used to like those, but I guess in a way, I cheated on some of them. I'd use Blish HUD and just have the route, which I'd still mess
There you
up.
go.
So it didn't make a huge difference. It just made it very obvious.
Or if you had a mesmers were
Yeah,
always kind of a cheat for it.
just to TP you somewhere.
Yep.
I never did that. Tay would. I never did. It's like, nah, I'm gonna get it or I'm not gonna get it. One of the two.
Yeah. I didn't start using Blish HUD until this year.
I thought it was
And
banned
it's
now.
no, you can still use it.
It just depends on like what add-ons you put on it, I guess.
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
there was like some
'Cause
automated stuff going on in there I've heard here in the last year or so.
yeah, there's a lot of AFK farming, and that kind of
Yeah.
ruined the game for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when I stopped. But it's better. I don't see it as much. But then again, I'm not in the low level lands anymore, so
Were y'all like just running gun ho fighters that just knocked out everything, or did y'all have like strategies?
There is no strategy. It's just let's see who dies first, and I usually won.
Oh,
the strategy was don't die.
And I always died. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
blame it
that
on
was
Hunter because he was the healer. It's his fault.
oh,
yes.
bless it,
Yeah.
poor
Yeah.
Hunter.
That that's why I got really good at healing.
Oh, did I assist
Pretty
you in your
quickly.
progression?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
gee, thanks. I don't know if
You know,
that's a compliment or an insult. Thank you.
it's a compliment.
I don't know. But here's the weird thing, though. This is the thing. We didn't do voice chats. We would rarely even
Correct.
type in chat.
Hmm.
We played enough together to where we didn't really have to communicate. We knew generally what the other one was going to do or what they were about to do.
Well, that's kind of
Exactly. And
cool.
that's
It's
what,
very cool.
yeah. And it was nice because with fractals, you have kind of the general basis of what you're trying to accomplish, but there's also a lot of, there should be strategy involved, but with us, it was just kind of like
Fun.
clunk around
Yeah.
until it
Okay,
worked.
I hear y'all saying fractals a lot. What are those?
Hunter, go ahead. I'll let you
Uh,
explain this one.
Fractals are kind of like, I don't want to say like, it may be like a mini dungeon. And so like it's a set part of the game that you can do over and over again, and you have to achieve certain um, accomplishments. And so like for instance, one will be like you have to fight this giant worm with reflections of crystals that shoot back at him. And then another one, you're like swimming around as a dolphin for a little bit, and then you have to fight all these underground
I
or
hated that one.
underwater worm guys.
I
Yeah.
hated that one.
Um,
So they're
and
kind of
so
like little
these were
side
all,
quests of the story.
They're not really side quests. They'd be more like an instance dungeon to where you get your party, you all go jump into the portal, and then you either beat the thing or you don't beat the thing. But there's what was it, Hunter? 5 tiers?
there's four,
4?
and
We got to
yeah, we
3. We
would,
started into 3.
and it was just the three of us, which is
Yeah,
pretty impressive because you're
considering my skill
usually
level.
supposed to run it. You're supposed to run it with 5 people, but we could do it with 3.
That's awesome,
Um,
though.
Except
yeah.
for what was the last one? Dang, I went blank. You know which one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
last
So
one.
the last one, it's
Well, back then it was the last one. There's been what 2 or 3 added since then, probably at least.
mhm.
Oh,
I'm
what
trying to
was
think what
it?
the name of it is. But it was a long one, and that was one that you really had to be in
Yeah,
sync with
right.
everybody
And you had to know what
because
was going on.
mhm.
Sounds
Like
like
some of
y'all
the
need
other
a
ones you can
return
get
to
through
Guild
without.
Wars.
Yeah.
Sounds
Like the
like y'all need a
mechanics are kind
return.
of easy to get through on some of them, but like this one in particular, you had to know the mechanics, or you were just done.
And even if you did, there were some possibilities if you weren't doing enough DPS to where no, you weren't going to beat it. That was the most
Yeah.
challenging one at the time, and we never got to T5, which I can't even imagine, or T4 rather. I don't even think we did it on T3. T2 was brutal enough.
Yeah, I've done a couple T4s.
Oh dang, you done gotten on up there.
Yeah, I'm up to like fractal level 81 or something like that, and there's 100 of them.
Yeah, because they kind of adjusted, let's say, that whole system.
Yes, they did. Especially like with this last expansion, they added another fractal in with that, and so it's been a fun game just because there's never a point when you're like there's nothing to do. Like there's always something to do.
Yeah, even at level 80, you're still going back to starter areas for random things. Like the world events are just, if you're trying to get, like the legendary gear or something, you're all over the map.
Yeah.
So it's not like
And
progressive, to where you get to the point where there is no reason to go back here. Well, yeah, there is always.
The game's done a very good job of making it so that there's never a point when you're like, I'll never be here again, which is, I think, a really cool aspect.
Again.
Yeah, that is very cool because it keeps everything relevant.
Exactly. Most games, you're like, I'll never, why would I come to a level 10 area? But in this game, you'll always need to be there. And you'll never, ever find a point where, like, it's not a power creep game where you always have to be doing something to always be the top. Like, there's so many ways that you can just play the way you want to play and still be a top tier contender if you wanted to.
And even with all the rebalancing and the patches, I mean, yeah, things might get out of whack for like a month after a rebalance patch, but they go back and readjust it, and then everybody just kind of has to learn the next best way to do it, rotations or what have you. And I was never very good at that because I'm not that person. I don't key in on animation frames and that kind of thing.
I'm not that person.
Yeah, I just play for fun. That's it.
Exactly. And that's the great thing about this game. You can be one of those people who wants to get it down to like I want my DPS to always be above 30k, or you can just be like, I just like crafting or just exploring or whatever it is. There's always something for someone. And the community's awesome. It's one of the less toxic communities for gamers out there.
That is very true. Considering how old that game is and was even when I started playing it, because even at that point it was like 11 years old, 10 years old, somewhere around in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's still going strong.
It's still strong. And they keep talking about Guild Wars 3, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't think if they did, that'd be cool, but I don't think there's a need for it. They've done such a great job with the story, with what they have going now, that I could see this going for another 10 years.
Yeah, because even graphically, they do like mini updates. I know it's getting hard on them just because of like the old code base and stuff like that. And it's just a can of worms. Spaghetti code, from what I've heard, seen.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. I don't think it's going to be something that, in the next 10 years will be possible to do just because of how old the code is, but it's a game that I think that's never going to go out of style just because of how many different ways you can play it.
Now, is this one like a mouse and keyboard only, or can you do controller?
This one's mouse and keyboard only.
No, you actually could. What? I thought I saw. Okay, wait. I may have my wires crossed because it's got that other mode, to where you're basically in first person mode, to where it operates more like a shooter. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Action camera mode.
Yeah, action cam. Yeah. Thank you. Because I was trying to think. I'm like, yeah, kind of, but no, because I like logically, I can't think of any way to map all the things you would do to a controller. Because you have 8 skills? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It would be impossible. 1, 2, 3. It would be absolutely impossible.
I mean,
and
No, I think
I
they
personally wouldn't want to
could.
do it that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to because mouse and keyboard is just so much faster.
Hmm.
Like I have
I
no
think with
hand-eye coordination, so
At least you're being
I'm like a
honest.
controller-only
Yeah,
person.
Well, Hunter,
and I usually am that way too.
her favorite game is EDF. She would rather play Earth Defense Force than any other thing,
Look,
and I
I
have
love
tried.
me some EDF. It is awesome.
There's nothing wrong with EDF.
No, of course it's not. It's like one of the best B movie type games there is, and it's been around for
But
what 20 years now.
Yeah.
EDF is my
I
game.
played every one of them, I think, except for 6.
Look, I am.
There's
Every
oh
single
yeah.
one. Yeah, 6 came out what about a year ago now.
I don't know. I
We
just
haven't
beat
got
like
it yet.
4.1 and 5.
Yeah, and she beat 4 by herself. She beat 5
And
by
5 by
herself.
myself.
Now, yes, it was on easy mode, but
But
she beat it by herself, right?
I am not a true blue gamer though. So the fact
No,
that I
and
did it
that's
by
the
myself is awesome.
well, and I'll be honest, like before when I would game, it was like, yeah, let's do hard mode. I don't have time for that.
Right.
I can't grind like I used to where you could spend, 6 hours on one level trying to get
Yeah.
that
That one
perfect
drop
score or
that you want.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's like I want to play to just have fun.
You get a little older and you're
Exactly.
like, you have kids or you have some other responsibility. There, you don't have the time to sit there and grind for 10 hours to get one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, I got to be
And
honest. Some of these levels, I was on easy, and it still took me 6 hours. But it was
but that
fun.
speaks to how good the game is though. Like I think the game itself is done so well that you should be challenged even on in easy mode.
Right. Because you're not getting super powerful drops. They're kind of level relevant.
Well, exactly.
And that's what I told her. I was
Not
like, go back to easy mode if you get stuck on normal, right?
yeah.
And, just kind of bounce between the two, try to get some gear until you can start progressing again. And she did that. I looked one day and I don't remember now what it is, but she's got several hours in the EDF franchise.
It was fun.
I couldn't get her to play
And
Borderlands, but still,
That's
see,
not so
Borderlands
much
is
fun.
fun.
Borderlands is fun.
I
While
can't
we're
get
on that,
Just
into
run
it.
around and shoot
right? While
stuff.
we're on that topic, are you getting 4? Because I don't think I am. I have already
I,
uninstalled 2, and
you know,
because of the whole um, TOS situation.
yeah, yeah. I think honestly, I've gone to a point now where I used to be like, let's put a pre-order in, let's get all that stuff as quickly as possible, and I've lost so much faith in these AAA game companies that
Right.
I just can't justify spending that money anymore.
You're right, because you don't know what
I'll
you're going
spend
to
money on
get.
it. Exactly. I'd rather spend that money on an indie game, knowing that they put their heart and soul into it, and feel good about supporting that versus $60 to EA for a half done game.
Even if it's 60, it might be 70 or 80. They keep trying their best.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. I like probably 80, 90% of my library is indie or like very old AAA games, stuff that's
Yes.
10 to 20 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got Humble Bundle, so I get all kinds of indie games, and occasionally you'll get a AAA in there for dirt cheap. But I don't like the AAAs that much anymore. Honestly, I don't think there's much appeal to them.
They're not because they keep recycling the exact same content. I mean, what Call of
Hmm.
Duty are we on? What Battlefield are we on? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Halo is kind of anyway. But like the big
Yeah.
names, they went to like a yearly release. That's actually a little harder to say than it should be for some reason. And like the quality, like graphical quality, fidelity didn't drop, but the gameplay got stagnant. You know,
Yes. Very much so.
so I would rather pay for something that doesn't look as pretty because I don't really care about graphics that much. As long as I know what's going on the screen, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But the
Agreed.
gameplay loop itself and the enjoyment that you have while you're playing it. I mean, dude, I bought like $10 games in EA. They released, they went up to 20. Okay, it's fine. I've definitely gotten my money out of them.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
bought,
I mean,
if you buy Call of Duty, are you going to get $60, $70 worth out of it? Like, realistically.
nah, not anymore.
Exactly.
You know, maybe
Graphics
10 years ago, I could say, yeah, that was a fair deal, but not anymore.
Right, because the last one I played was probably the first Modern Warfare or the one right before it. And I wasn't rushing. I mean, I don't know what, like, it ain't like I was speed running or trying to do any of that, but I beat it in like under 7 hours. I'm like, okay, I just paid $60 for this. And it basically cost me $10 an hour to play it because we didn't have internet at the time because there was just no option for that. Only other option you have is like, I don't even know if it had co op. I don't even think it did. That's when they kind of forced the online multiplayer thing. So I just
Yeah.
stopped. That was the last one I bought.
And that was a big turnoff for me too, is like, I don't want to be forced to be online all the time to play a game. Like, what happens when your servers go down? And there was a while there for, especially PlayStation, where it felt like their servers were down all the time. And you can't play a game that you spent money on because you're forced to be on this PlayStation network. It's like, no.
Exactly. The last PlayStation I actually bought for me was a PS3. And the more I heard about
Yep.
the PS4, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You're
Yep.
going digital only. You're going to get a code in a case or something, or you're going to have a day one patch that's like 5 gigs or something. Like, no. It just don't make sense anymore. Like, realistically.
No.
Maybe it's just me
Oh,
getting
I agree.
older. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
No, and this kind of goes back to one of the reasons I think that we all click so well is that there was this interesting generational kind of gap, if you want to call it that, where you grew up in a time where it was cartridges
Yep.
and everything was, you could put it in your hand. I grew up very much the same way, but very quickly it became, okay, now it's going to become digital. It's shifting more towards it being just a download and not having that hard copy in your hand anymore. And then, Tay, he grew up in a world where hard copy is kind of non-existent. So for the three of us, it was kind of a fun time to just talk about the different things that we were all used to and how much it changed over the years.
And just to like add to that, because it's kind of one of my pet peeves, and you're old enough to know. Because all right, we'll just kind of throw out names. All right, Tib, he's about 10 years older than me. You're about 10 years younger than me, and then Tay is about 10 years younger than you. So it's like we're literally about a decade apart, all four of us.
Yep.
We all still
Yep.
talk, maybe not as frequently as we should, obviously, but we all still talk. At least every 2 months, depending on what's going on. But by 3 months, we're definitely, it's like, hey, either Discord or even on our phones, text messages, because we all have each other's numbers,
yeah.
I think. So, but back to my point, I got a little sidetracked. But here's one of the main things that really just ticked me off. They started taking actual game manuals out of the game case.
Yep.
Because I would ride home after buying it, and I'd read the manual all the way home. Because,
Yes.
I wasn't driving. And you
Yep.
remember, like, the smell of
Oh, yeah.
a freshly opened game. It's a very distinct chemical type of thing.
It's like a new car smell.
It
for a
really is.
gamer.
It's kind of like that. It is. You're right.
You can tell I'm so off. It reminded me of a shower curtain.
It actually kind of does.
Yeah.
Maybe not
shower
quite
curtain
as
smell.
like vinyl-y smelling, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. But I think a lot of that is
And-
from the plastic container that it was in,
Right.
plus the manual that was in there. And you've seen them too. We've had some manuals that are like 30 pages long that were shoved into effectively something the size of a CD case.
Yep. And there was no better feeling than to hold that manual in your hand and read about the game that you were about to play
and
get
see
so
the
excited.
artwork. and see the
Hmm.
artwork that was tied to it because it was right there with it. It wasn't just words. And now it's like,
Exactly.
now what do they do now? It's like a steel book type thing to where you get some artwork and you get the fancy steel case,
Yeah, it's just not the same.
but it
Well,
also
and what
costs
makes
double the price.
yeah, and what's angering me now is that there's this push for the gaming companies to say, well, even if you buy our game, you don't own it.
Yeah, I almost brought that up a minute ago when we were talking about things, but we got a little sidetracked. Yeah. Do you want to name like one company that's in your mind specifically? Because I know which one you're probably going to say.
EA,
Ubi.
well, and Ubi,
Ubi.
well, all of
See,
them, all
but
of
you
them.
pay for the game, but you don't own it.
Yeah, exactly. Ubi is
Yeah,
literally, Brenda, in the last, what's it been, 100, 2, 3 months, maybe, they have told people to destroy their copies of something they purchased with their own money.
That's
yes,
crazy.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
You do not own it. It actually tells you, though. So, I mean, okay, but it actually tells you, is it in the TOS, Hunter, or is it in something else, like a EULA maybe? It's probably in the
I think it's in the
EULA.
tail. I think it's in the terms.
It may be in the terms, but it's like you have purchased a license. You didn't purchase the product. You
Yes,
literally
exactly.
purchased the rights to use the thing until they say you can't use it.
It's like going to buy a car,
Yes.
paying on a vehicle for all those months and years, and then for them to turn it around and say, actually, we're going to take that product back now.
Yeah. You can't use that anymore.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And Ubi's
Yeah.
at about what? I mean, they've kept some around for about a decade, but others they definitely have not. Which,
Hmm.
okay. I
So
mean,
how
I
much are
get
you paying
server
for these
cost.
games?
I mean, games have been what, 100? Games have been $60 since PS2 era? 50,
Yeah.
$60? I mean,
I mean,
effectively.
it used to be like $60 was kind of the higher end, and with that you would get like I distinctly remember getting the God of War pre-orders
Yeah.
because they would have like this incredible artwork box, and they would have the artwork in a book, and it was just like, oh, okay, I can understand why I paid money for this. Now you get $60 and you get a code,
Exactly.
and if it works, you might be able to play it day one, but uh, there's plenty of games where you buy it in day one, it's not even a working product.
Because you're sitting there
I
waiting for a patch so it can work, and then the servers go down, so you can't even get on it anyway. It don't matter.
And then you
I
don't even own it.
distinctly
And yeah, for the
well,
most
yeah.
part, you do not own them.
That's
So
It's
crazy.
Fallout,
crazy.
remember when Fallout 76 came out,
Yeah.
and the next day, I'm gonna probably get the number wrong, but could distinctly remember, like, it was almost like an 80 to 90 terabyte download for a patch. Like, basically the whole game had to be repatched.
Okay, you meant gigabyte. I hope you meant,
Sorry,
because if it, you
did I
said
say terabyte?
you
No, I meant
did.
yes, sorry, gigabyte. Yeah.
Okay. All
Can
right.
you imagine terabyte? Oh gosh.
I mean,
But no.
we keep heading that direction. I mean, we have both seen games that are like 200 gigs. I'm like, no, that
Oh
why?
yeah.
Y'all got to work on compression or something. Polys, something's wrong. There's no
Yeah.
logical reason for a game to be over, like, realistically, unless they're doing like some type of physical modeling on world scales, which they're not most of the
Yeah.
time. I mean, yeah, sometimes they do. That's true. But effectively, you should not go over 100 gigabytes, period. 60 to 80 would be normal. And it's mostly normal in, 90% of the cases.
You know, I don't know if you've ever played it. I think we've talked about this, but the game that comes to my mind when it comes to just wildly inappropriate storage space is Ark.
Yeah,
That
that was the
game,
one I was going to, because it's what, with all of its DLC and all the patches, like 220 something gigs, 224. I really
I
do
think
want to
that's
say it's
just
224.
base. Yeah, it's just base. And then if you add mods, if you add
Right.
DLCs, if you add maps, I mean, it's here. Let me look it up because I want to know
I
how
really
much.
think the game with all of the DLC, because that's what I actually own, I think it is around 220 gigs. And I've never modded that game because I got to thinking, I'm like, I cannot donate 300 gigabytes of space to one game. I can't.
It's sad that I don't know the difference
Okay.
between all this space stuff.
Well, did you find it, Hunter?
So
Okay.
I
all right.
found it. 1.86 gigabytes I have right now. And that's not including mods, and that is not including additional maps.
1.86 gigabytes. So you are. Wait. Hold up. That doesn't sound right.
That is right. That's the new one, the Ark Survival Ascended.
Okay, so it's not like the original Ark. It's the new.
No, we're not talking. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
so the old school one. Let me like the original.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, let me take a look at that one. The original. We're looking at.
I really think it's like 224.
Yeah, roughly.
I mean, yeah, within a gig or two.
Yeah, I got mine at 252, but I also have a couple DLCs and expansion maps on there.
Well, I thought I had all of them, but maybe I didn't. I mean, it's very possible. I don't know. It's been a while, and I know that one's a rabbit hole for you. So I don't want to.
Yeah, that's one of those games that you just don't.
There's always
I just don't play anymore because
there's always
it
something.
Is a bottomless pit. I will never come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who's ever played that knows what that pit is like.
And it's like me with Dwarf Fortress or Oxygen Not Included. And there's a couple more, but those are the main two. If I get into them, it's like 3 months before I come back out.
Yeah.
I'm gone for at least 3 months. It could be 6, but it's definitely 3.
Yeah.
So do y'all have a game that you play more than the others? Like, I haven't played this in forever, and I go back to it every time.
Mine is probably like Transport Fever because it's one I can play and enjoy and then go back to, and I can just do whatever random thing I want to do because you're effectively playing in a sandbox. But that's my general type of game, like sandbox games. You just play the game. There's really no end goal except for whatever you set for yourself. What about you, Hunter?
I'm with you there. Like, the sandbox games are the ones that I like the most because of what you just said. You can always come back to it, and there's always something new or different that you can do with it. Gosh, the game that I always go back to.
Because like if it's story based, you beat the story, you're like, all right. Unless it's a really good story. Like Tay loves The Last of Us. That's one of his all time favorites. At least the first one.
Yeah, and it's a great game, but once you beat it, it's like, okay, I already know how this is going to end.
But I know he's beat that game probably over 5 times. He would play it like every 6 months to a year.
I'm going to say probably Fallout Vegas would be the game that, like, if I'm kind of in a rut and I don't really know what I want to play, I go back to that because there's just so much you can do.
That is probably the best Fallout game. I don't argue. And I've never beaten it. I have never beaten that game.
I've beaten it a couple of times with different scenarios, and each one I'm like, I wish I would have done something different. Which is what's great about that game. You can literally just say, okay, I'm going to start over again, and I'm going to change this decision, and it's going to completely change my whole trajectory of how this is going to end.
Right. It's built kind of like the old BioWare stuff, like the original Dragon Age, the trilogy, the Mass Effect trilogy, to where your choices actually do matter. And Mass Effect is probably like my all-time favorite series. That's a heavy series. It really is. Like if you play through the story and you can make different choices, I cannot go back and replay it. I just can't. Because 1 is so clunky compared to 2 and 3. It's just painful to get through 1 these days. But as far as like all-time favorites, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age Origins Awakening, because that's the version I have. And that's really good. I didn't care for 2 that much. I didn't care for Inquisition that much. And
I can't really argue with you on that one.
I mean, it's just series. It's so much better than anything that came after. I don't know what they kept doing to it, but that one was That was like the formula, but they changed it because
Now,
two was more like an ARPG, kind of.
if I can, yeah, one was clunky. I do remember one being a
Yeah,
little clunky at
one
times,
was
but
clunky, but it was so good.
it was.
Mm,
The story was amazing,
The
and I
story
think
was very good.
shiver.
for me, if the story's good, the gameplay can be, mid, and I'll
Right.
still enjoy it because the story's what's going to keep me invested.
Or vice versa. If the story is kind of mid and then the gameplay is really good,
Yes,
you're like, okay,
yeah.
I'm still
But
enjoying the actual interaction here.
Right. And this
as
is
I
the
get
one I like
older,
to watch
it's
you play because
definitely
it was like
the
watching a
story.
movie, right?
Yeah, Brenda used to watch me play Mass Effect. She would sit there and watch it. That's like one of the only games she ever watched me play because it was that good.
Like
Yeah,
storyline, yeah.
Yeah. Old BioWare was excellent. And BioWare, maybe you don't
hmm
know, but I know Hunter remembers Neverwinter, Neverwinter Nights.
No
Everywhere.
clue.
Yes.
That was a massive thing. Like back in
Yep.
the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure on
Oh,
the time
yeah.
frame, but I know I'm ballpark there.
Yeah, I want to say like 99,
That's what I'm
right
thinking. It's
around
like
there.
right there at the 99 2000, maybe '01 at the latest, possibly '02.
Okay.
Because I had the diamond edition, so that had all the extra stuff. And that was a very community oriented game. They had that built in such a way to where people could take the game and effectively build their own version of it.
hmm
That's
Yeah.
why
Do you
that
remember? I
game
mean,
lived for so long because of the modability of it, customization of it.
yep.
Gotcha.
And I think that's why a lot of these older games do as well as they do because of just that. Like, you can make it what you want.
Yeah.
And more of these newer games, they're destroying that ability to basically create the world that you want without having to go through so many mods that it's like, it's just not worth it.
Or conform to their ideals.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I haven't really played a game in 3 months. I tried. I started another YouTube channel for gaming, just for me, do a little practice, and I stopped it. Well, we had a little bit of bad news, and then I just like, and I go through that. I don't know if you do, but I this is not unusual for me to where I'll have about every 2 years or so, maybe 2 to 3 years, to where I really don't care. I don't play any game for like 3 to 6 months. I'm done
Yeah.
for a little while,
Actually, I just came out of that, and
and I'm right
I
in it.
think that's for any gamer, that's normal. I think you just get so burnt out with whatever game or games you've been playing. You're just like, I need a break.
Yeah, I agree. Or your mental state is in such a place that, like we were talking about the rabbit holes earlier with certain games, that you should not be playing that game because, well, you're
Yeah.
not going to deal with the things that you're having to deal with. Believe me, I've been there. I've done it. I have buried myself into so many things to avoid situations,
Yeah.
topics, problems, what have you. So, I have learned finally that when I just start getting that way, I just need to leave certain things alone
Yep.
because, in a manner of speaking, I guess they're not even fun while I'm playing it. I'm just sitting there wasting
Going
time.
through the motions.
Right? You're not enjoying
Yeah.
it anyway. You're just doing it. Even though I mean, after 3 years, I do enjoy them. It's just you hit that point where it's like I don't want to right now.
Yeah. You hit a wall, and it's just like, I'm good.
Yeah. And then you come out of it and you're like, all right, let's go again. And you're good for a
Yep.
little while longer. I always
Right.
wondered if that was weird.
No, I every gamer that I've ever talked to has gone through that. And I think it's just knowing that it's okay to go through that. I think there was a while there where it's like, is there something wrong with me? Like, this used to be the only thing that kind of kept me going. Am I broke? And it's like, no, it's just normal to not have that drive for a while, and
Yep.
you come back with it stronger than before. So
It's kind of like kind of like burnout, I guess. You
Oh
just,
yeah.
I mean, it's not that you don't want to because it's your enjoyment, but I mean, even Guild Wars, because this is what we started with. I mean,
Hmm.
even that, as much as I loved it, and that is my most played game I have in 2 years. I had like 12, 1,300 hours. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was every day for at least an hour. And then, it started slacking off. And then I just got to where like, all right, I need to take a step back and just get away from that. See if it's, let's call it an addiction, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you just kind of get addicted. Even, and it may not even be to the game itself. It just may be the environment or the people or whatever, dopamine, I guess. I don't know.
Well, do y'all have like
I
a
think
certain game where y'all were like younger and first played or whatever that y'all said, okay, I'm a gamer, that I just like this?
Okay, well,
And
that's a
Mario
good
doesn't count.
oh wait,
question.
okay. Uh, I mean, for me, and like we've said, I'm about 10 years older than Hunter. So yeah, I remember when the NES came out. I kind of missed the Atari being like the big thing, but it was still a thing when I was growing up. I mean, when I got to that point, I was probably, I didn't even have the Super Nintendo, didn't get it. So mine, honestly, that probably happened when the original PlayStation came out, the PS1. That's when I got addicted. And here's why. And I'd played like Tecmo Bowl before, but
Oh man,
yeah,
yeah.
but our big thing, me, my brother, and my buddy, it was like NCAA football. That was our thing.
Okay.
That is when I got addicted. And then when the PS2 came out and I started playing Final Fantasy, and it
Okay.
was Final Fantasy 8, which I still love. I never beat it and I hate
I like to
myself,
watch you play that
but
one.
my save got corrupted and I was like, even according to like the old Brady
No.
book, I was like 95 to 98% completely done with that game. And something
Oh
happened. I like,
man.
dang it. And I just yeah. I played Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X was also amazing. But yeah, I would definitely say PS1 era and NCAA is what got me hooked. NCAA, in case I didn't quite say that right, because it felt like
Gotcha.
I
All right,
didn't.
Hunter, what got you
I
hooked?
I can see that. And that's one thing I don't think if you're kind of a younger gamer, the pain and torture of having a corrupted save.
Mm-hmm.
I there's nothing worse than knowing that you've spent however many hours inside of this game and
Gone.
it's gone.
Gone.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Buddy,
Um,
Suikoden 3, same situation. Or maybe it was Suikoden 2, back in the early 2000s. Same thing. I'd gotten
gosh.
about 60, 75% of the way through. And that's, I don't know if you know Suikoden, but it's got like 100, I think it's like 109 people that you can get, or 120 something people. I can't remember the exact
Oh,
number. But yeah,
I
there's a
remember there was a
lot of
lot.
people. Yeah, there's a lot of people you can recruit and like build your own kingdom. I was probably 60 to 70% of the way through that story corrupt. I lost it.
Oh,
I
God.
lost it. I traded that game in the next day. I was like,
Oh,
I'm done. I'm not.
that's awful.
It
It's
sucks.
awful. Or, not having an auto save point, like where you literally are going around every corner. You're like, oh, there's a bunch of health here, or health potions. It's like, all right, I got to save because I know
Uh huh.
big fight's coming up.
Exactly. And autosave points weren't even a thing, especially in those kind of games. No, you had to find the save point. There were no
Ex-
checkpoints.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what's the Dark Souls, like
Yeah, in a way, you're right.
a,
Dark Souls is
a
kind of
little bit
like,
like that.
yeah, it's kind of like a reimagining, I guess, of older school
Yeah,
games with
yeah.
updated systems. But you've already side skirted. She asked you
Okay.
because yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
we'll
I was
get
full.
distracted. We're bad about that.
I was delaying because I was having to think about it.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, go ahead and think.
uh,
We'll let her fill the void, and I'll just grab me something to drink because I'm thirsty.
well, I got 2 games. So the first one, actually, I got 3.
Okay.
So one of the first ones that I'll call it addicted. I became addicted with it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Travel in Time.
Awesome.
And that was one where I just so badly wanted to get to the end of it. I just would just stay up aimlessly, 1, 2 in the morning as a kid trying to play that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um,
So about how old were you?
I was probably about 8, 9.
8. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And then the other one around that same time was The Simpsons, like the arcade game. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but there was an arcade where you could be
Yeah.
Homer, Bart, Lisa, or Marge, and that was one that I always wanted to get to the end to, and I never did until recently, where I got an emulator and I was playing it and finally beat it.
Okay.
Uh,
Help me out here, because I think I do. But couldn't you be like Bart on a skateboard in that one?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, I know
And
what you're
then,
talking about. All
like,
right, just checking
the
myself.
first level, you have to beat like this big old crusty uh, blimp thing, and it was a good game. And then I would say the third and final one was Battletoads. That game, I could never, ever, ever beat it. And I thought, man, I'm just not very good at games. Well, come to find out, it's ranked near the top, if not the number one game, usually on the hardest to beat.
Yeah.
It's right up there. And that was a game just to this day, I've never beaten it. I don't know if I ever will, but it was just such a good game because you just always were trying to like strategize and like, oh, I'm gonna try this. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I'm gonna try that. It doesn't work. Um, but yeah, those old games where you have to like actually think and not just run in and like just blast everything. Those are the games that I really enjoy.
Gotcha. See, I'm a running and blaster.
And see, I shifted to the more strategic version. When I was younger, I did like the just go shoot everything. Because Contra, actually, if we
Oh
back up a
yeah.
bit, Contra was probably the one that hooked me. That was the first game I ever beat. And I beat it with my mom.
Oh, well.
We did the
Oh,
Konami code and got the 30 lives, but still, we beat it, right? Okay.
Okay, so what
I
system were these games on? Like the Ninja Turtles. I'm like,
Contra
I don't
was
know.
on NES. The first
mm-hmm.
Ninja Turtles game, I believe, was still on the NES.
Yes, that first game, which
And I played it too. And yeah, that was also another
that
one.
was a hard game.
It
Yeah, that was a
was.
hard
I
game.
never beat that one.
That sounds
Um,
fun.
It was fun.
it was a fun game,
Okay.
except for that stupid water level.
I think that's
Ugh.
probably where I got stuck. Quick aside, who was your favorite? Who did you play? Which turtle did you play?
It's gotta be
I was
Leonardo.
always, oh yeah, hands down, always Leonardo. Favorite color was blue. Always liked the katanas. Like it was just match made in heaven for me.
Yeah, I would play Leo or Donatello, either one. It just depended.
Yeah,
It's like, all
Donnie.
right, I'll try Donatello for this. Yeah, those
Donnie
were
was
my
my
two.
second favorite.
I would probably have to go with Ralph, just because of Ralph,
Yeah,
our turtle.
Yeah, we have a Ralph, but either way,
I'd probably have to go with that one.
What about
Raph was always a good character to me because he was just so pissed off all the
right?
time.
Ralph was like he was the
yeah.
angry one. He
Yes,
was
very much so.
the
Even though Mikey probably
he had
my
he always
personality better.
Raphael always had like a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
That's kind of the feeling he gave. It's like
Yes.
I don't like anything, and I think this, and he stuck to it. I mean, yeah, he would generally come around, but he still had his own belief and his own thought, and it was very hard to sway it. So yeah, Raphael was also one of my favorite characters. I liked all of them. They were all very, very well done if you stop and think about it.
But I gotta admit, Donatello was all my favorite because he was purple.
Purple.
Yeah, I'm a girl. Purple.
You're being very simple.
Well,
but if you like it, you like it.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you find something you can identify with, right? Just go with it.
Exactly.
And he used a big stick.
He did have a big stick.
And he was smart.
and he was smart.
He was, yeah. That's the reason I really liked him, because he was the one that was always tinkering with stuff and making gadgets, and the other ones had their own little things that they were good at, but Donnie was always the more intellectual out of everyone.
Yeah,
Right?
and Leo
Oh,
was
ninja,
more
go
like
ninja.
I guess in many ways the leader,
Right.
like
most
the one that
disciplined. We go from games
focused
to Ninja Turtles.
everything. Well, we're still on the
Yes.
game. We're talking
True,
about the
very
Ninja
true.
Turtles game, and yeah, I played it. I had it.
Now I want to watch the movies though.
Well, the older movies I enjoyed. The newer movies, I mean, they're
The
still
newer ones
fine.
aren't bad.
Yeah, they're still fine, but they don't have that same character, I guess we'd say. There's
Yeah,
something.
they don't have that
Yeah.
same.
There's something missing, right?
I mean, the one I would always watch was
I didn't mean to change topic.
Secret of the Ooze, and I just remember like Vanilla Ice being in that one, and Super
Yes.
Shredder,
You're
and
right.
Steve Nash being the Super Shredder at the end, and I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you would have been what, like not even
Ooh,
10 around that point, right?
yeah, I was like 7 or 8,
Yeah.
right around
Yes, and
there.
a turtle get down.
I was also a very big fan of Mikey because, pizza. And I like pizza.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I loved his catchphrase, cowabunga.
exactly.
Right,
He was like
yes.
the California surfer dude, except not. Yeah. All
Yeah,
those characters
exactly.
were very specific.
Right.
They all definitely had their own personalities
But
and
you
their own
gotta love
mentalities,
Master
which was
Splinter,
cool.
too.
Even Splinter.
Exactly.
Even Splinter
Yes.
was very
Even though
like
he was a giant nasty rat.
individualized. That was just that was a very good, that was a massive thing too.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's making a huge comeback now. My boys are into the turtles,
I
which
mean,
is really kind of cool to
Mm.
share
like
that with them.
I have two generations. Like I grew up with this, and now you're getting to grow
Yeah,
up with the new version of it. And you're
yeah,
probably going to do
exactly.
like me, but you're going to say the old one was better, right?
Oh,
Most
100%,
likely, yeah.
100%.
Right.
I
Now,
mean, some of the newer cartoons are pretty good, but it just doesn't hold up to those old ones.
how old are your boys?
Oh gosh, I got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and I got a
3?
young daughter who's gonna turn 5 here in October.
Oh dang! Oh wow, Hunter, hold up, dude.
Hmm.
No. Okay, that ages everything. I remember when
So
she was born.
fun.
Yeah.
So it's been
Right.
5 years. I've known
Yeah.
Hunter for 5 years now
Oh wow.
because she
That's
was
so
born in
fun.
February. Was that right?
October. We
Okay, maybe it
found
was
out.
October, and then you like brought
Yeah.
it up in February when we were talking one day.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, okay, I've known him basically since his daughter was born. If not then, like a year after that. So it's been longer
Yeah.
than
That's
I had
awesome.
thought. Wow,
Yeah. It's
That's
been like I
awesome.
said. I thought it was during COVID
it may have been.
because that's when I
That
got
was what,
into
2019, 2020?
It would have been 2020.
2020. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
Because that was.
wow.
Yeah. It feels like a lifetime ago.
In a
Wow.
way, yeah, but I really didn't even realize it'd been effectively 5 years or 4.5 years.
I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
ours would like Ninja Turtles.
So I've known you and Tib for basically 5 years. Never met. We have never met.
We need to change
Yeah.
that.
We
Oh.
live like 1,000 miles apart.
I was gonna
We
say
need
it's
to
kind of
change
hard when we're on, almost opposite sides of the country. But
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it could happen, but it just hasn't yet.
oh,
It will.
we'll make it happen one of these days.
One of these
It'll
days,
Right.
it
happen.
will happen.
I think it'd be awesome.
Because Hunter, very good dude. I value his opinions. I try to listen to him. Sometimes I'm stupid, but
I look great.
it is. Oh, nobody asked you. I was making a comment. You didn't have to put your input there.
Well, thank you. I value your guys' input as well. So, and like I said, that's what's so cool about this whole thing is like I've been gaming for basically my whole life, and I've never met a group as awesome as you guys. So
Exactly.
it just shows that
And I'm
you
it's not
can.
like a pat on the back or anything. And me and Taylor have talked about it, and me and Brenda have talked about it. It's like, and I'm like you. I've been gaming. I've been online gaming. I've played WoW. I've played Star Wars. I've played Guild Wars 1. I never never had like the type of connection that we have, which is very cool.
Agreed. And I really do point to the fact that we played effectively 6 months without talking to each other. And I think that says a lot when you can just game with someone, know how they're gonna react and how they're gonna play, and not talk to each other.
Yeah, because if we
That's
did
pretty
talk,
cool.
it was like the BS kind of talk. It was. I mean, there may be
Exactly.
like a very short call out. It's like, all right, I'm going, like a little simple. But in general, if we were typing, because there was no voice chat, we didn't do that. But
Mm-mm. Nope.
even if we were generally typing, it was just BS or normal conversation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It wasn't like, I'm going to do this, you go do this. There was none of that kind of even quick, like even shorthand that we did, which was rare. We just
And
knew
you
where and
couldn't.
what. Right. We knew what the other one was going to do because we had played Hunter. How many hours do you think let's limit it to fractals. How many hours
Oh
do you
gosh.
think we spent in fractals? Because we got up to T3,
Wow.
and I know some of those could take at least 45 minutes. So my rough
Yeah.
estimate baseline will be 300 hours plus without talking in voice and
I
without
I was
actual
gonna
chat.
say close to 400 to 500,
Yeah, I
just
Oh,
wouldn't.
because of the
wow.
amount of times that we
Yeah,
would run
I
those
would.
fractals.
I would not argue, and we could do it. We if we at that point, like after we knew what was going to. I mean, I knew when there was a little bit more communication, or if we failed, we'd come back to like the lobby type side of it and kind of say, okay, this is this. We'd get it all worked out. Then we go in. Very little communication.
Yep.
It's
I,
so awesome. The only thing that
and
wasn't
like I
awesome
said,
about this, Hunter, and I really want you to chime in.
mhm.
Uh, the times to where Taylor left us dead and just finished the thing solo. Did that
Yeah.
upset you? It's like, bro, just die so we can reset and we can all go do
Um.
it. Or I mean, yeah, there were some times we knew it was so low and we were so close to beating the things. Like, yeah, do it, do it, do it, do it. And then there were sometimes like, why are we watching you for 10 minutes fight this thing by yourself?
Um. Yes. Yes, and yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I just want to make sure
What
you
I did
agreed.
what I did enjoy was like you said, when there were times when he was like, "There's 5%," and he's just going for it. I was like, "Yeah, go." And there's other times I'm like, "Is he really going to just solo this by himself?" But
Yeah,
the nice thing that I enjoyed from that was like I could work on my inventory management. So
exactly. You're just,
it was a nice
yeah,
reason to just sit there. Um,
you're not coming back. You may as well.
yeah, might as well fix things while I'm
Yep,
sitting here.
Listen,
exactly.
Um,
poor kiddo
but
had to
I
showboat
also
it.
thought it was important, or not important, but interesting to see how good he was at that, to see how he could basically just solo a
Solo it
fractal boss,
in a 3-man
which to
party,
me is always yeah,
Which is
which is
supposed to be 5,
impressive.
right?
and he was usually
Yeah,
playing Firebrand normally at that point in
yeah,
time. Anyway, that was his thing.
that was his go-to.
He told me the other
Um,
day. Let's see, when was this? I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. He may have told you too, but he was in oh shoot, Hunter. Um, dang, what is the thing? What's like the war thing?
oh, world v world.
Yeah, he was in
Hmm.
that. He's like, I got slaughtered. I just laughed at him. He's like, I did beat one or two dudes, but then I got hammered after that. And I just laughed because I thought it was hilarious.
Bless. I got him to help me with
And
my
with
EDF missions,
He is actually relatively talented.
especially the expansion
he,
packs that you got me for the 5. Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I would say he's good. Like legit, if he wanted to be a YouTube
Okay.
gamer, he could 100% do
Well,
that.
he's been trying to do that with Marvel Rivals, and it's not working. He's got like 22 subs. I think it's his personality more than his gameplay that's the problem. But, and I will give him a bonus here. He has beat Valen in World versus World.
Yep, and that's
Yeah.
something that
That's something to
neither
brag
you
about
or
right
I
there.
can say.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is something to brag about. No joke. Because Valen
Yeah,
is
and
awesome.
good.
Very,
Really, really.
very.
And for people who don't know who Valen is in Guild Wars, he's probably not probably. He is a top 1% player, but he's probably one of the best
Yeah.
PvP fighters in the world.
I mean, the last time I played, I would for sure said top 3%, but I wouldn't argue with you on the 1% either. When you think about the scale of the players, that game probably has a consistent, 40,000?
Easy. Easy.
Because, it's on Steam. I think it's on Epic. Plus, they have their own launcher. So, to where, it wouldn't be registered on Steam or something. But I've never struggled to run across a player anywhere ever.
Let's see. So it says on an average. Oh, it's lower than that. They said 3,000 to 5,000.
There's
in a
no
given
way.
month. Yeah, I don't think that's right.
Okay, maybe that's an average and not peak, unless something happened. Cause.
Oh no, sorry. Here we go. 300,000 to 308. So this was talking about strictly PvP.
Okay. Yeah, or world.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
World. Yeah.
Because
so yeah, 300,000. It's nothing to sneeze at. That's a good player base.
That is a massive player base. You got Steam open?
I do.
Is that what's the current number and what's the average number? You know what I'm talking about on the graph. Was that the current number logged in?
No, that was.
Or is that a peak?
That was peak.
Okay. Well, that's still massive. Well, what's current? That's I mean, right now it's after 10 Central. But this game is global. We've played with people in Australia. We've played with people in Japan. We've played with people in England. So it's not unusual, I would say, if they were sitting somewhere around 3,000 to 6,000 right now.
Oh, I can't check on Steam because I don't have Steam. I have it on the old school.
That's right. You have it on their launcher. You're right. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah. That's how old I am with this game.
How long have you been playing that? Like a decade? You basically got it at launch, right?
No, I got it a couple years after launch, but I just had my 9th birthday with it, so
you've been playing it for 9 years. So you have been playing it for almost a decade.
Yeah, I have. It's definitely the game that I've played the longest and the most consistently. Because like I said, there's just so much to do with it. I'm still working on legendaries from 4 or 5 years ago because I just take my time with it and get sidetracked and go do 13 other things.
How many legendaries do you have? What's the last one you acquired for your collection, sir?
Aurora was the last one that I got.
Isn't that the one you were working on, even when I was still playing?
Yeah. So I currently have 5 legendaries, which is nothing in the big scheme of things.
No, because there's what? I mean, there's not a ton, but there's still a lot. There's 15 or so.
If you got all of the legendary sets for armor for each of the characters, there's 17 just there.
I was thinking the oh shoot, I lost my train. The accessories. Let's go up accessories. Isn't there 7 to 10 accessories?
Yeah, something like that.
Plus you have the armors, plus you have the weapons and armors, full set. That's 7 pieces? Head, chest, arms, legs, 4 pieces. And isn't there one more? So 5.
And then you got to think too with weapons, you got first gen, second gen, third gen.
That's true.
So I mean,
That's true.
there's a lot to keep you busy.
It's a lot like
A
the
lot.
old Star Wars Galaxies, to where
Yeah.
there was a lot. And yeah, I led you down that rabbit hole because I know, and that's something I've wanted to get into as well. But there's that game was the same way. There was
Hmm.
always something to do. It didn't matter.
Yep.
It wasn't like you were just going out there farming. Yes, you could do that, but there was still
Yeah.
so much you could do depending on your character. You could literally effectively start a homestead and start farming
Hmm.
and sell that to the crafters, and that was your okay. That game was probably one of the best games I've ever played because it had a system in place that let people like realistically world build and economically world build to where everybody
Hmm.
needed everybody else at one point or another. You had your
Yes.
farmers, you had your fighters, you had your crafters, geneticists, you had dancers, you had healers, but they were all important. They were all useful.
Yep.
And I like,
And there was never a class that you looked at and be like, I don't know about
yeah,
that one.
no, because they were all always needed at some point or another.
Yep.
And like, I started that in what, 2005, I think. I stopped playing Guild Wars, actually. I stopped playing Guild Wars 1 and I went to Star Wars Galaxies and I played it for about 6 months. I got level capped, creature handler, and carboneer, I believe.
Nice.
And like one of the first people I interacted with in that game was a healer because I'd been out, hitting a nest, came back, got healed up. I added them to like my friends list. Fast forward, the NGE dropped because I missed a little bit of time with Katrina because, that was a disaster. But I did get
Yeah.
back and I stuck it out for about another 3 months. I didn't play like I did, but most of the rest of the guild didn't either. But we were still kind of, playing. There, I had dudes from Oklahoma, dudes from like Michigan, a guy from England, and it was fun. We had a ball. I mean, like in our current conversation we're having, I would say that you are like the next level of what I have with them. We didn't get quite as close as I've gotten to Hunter, but given more time than say 6 months, probably would have with several of them because we were a tight knit little group of like 8 to 10 people.
I wish y'all could see
Which
his
is cool.
face as
Yeah,
he's talking about this game. He is so
she
excited.
sees me because I can remember it. I can visualize it and I can remember it. I can remember scenarios and situations, and it was funny. But anyway, yeah, there was always a need for every single class.
Exactly. And that's kind of, with Guild Wars, there is an entire group of people who are just dedicated to the economy of the game. Like that's all they're worried about. And if that's what your knack is, cool. If you want to be a crafter, cool. If you want to be someone who's leading raids, cool. I mean, it's just such a cool community that it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
No, not unless they do something stupid. But I mean, over a decade later, they know their fan base. They know what's
Yeah.
going to make people mad, and they honestly, I feel like seriously, ArenaNet, they're top tier because they're making money. We both know this,
Oh yeah.
but they still prioritize their players' enjoyment, I guess we could
Yes.
say.
Yeah. Because as a player, you know that you're not going to get microtransaction to death.
You
And
can, if you choose to. There,
yes,
there's the option,
you
but they don't force it
I mean,
on you necessarily.
yeah. I mean, if you really wanted to be a pay to play to win type game, absolutely. You could spend tons of money and you could buy all the gear but I mean that's going to be thousands of dollars. And for most of us, we're fine with small grind here or there, or turning your in-game gold into gems so that you can buy real world stuff. I mean,
Right.
it is a very well thought out
It
system.
really is. Yeah, like you're saying, their economy to where you can play the game and get gold and turn that gold into gems that are paid for with actual money is perfect. And it
Yep.
fluctuates. It's like a stock market. It
Yep.
goes up and down. And vice
Well,
versa. The gem to gold ratio is the same. They fluctuate.
mhm.
It is literally an economic market.
Well, I
Okay,
know people that have been playing this game. They've paid for their expansion packs literally by just playing the game.
exactly.
That they've earned enough
Hmm.
gold and just buy it
Right.
with in-game gold, essentially.
So you're talking like all the living worlds. I didn't think you could do it with the X packs anymore. I thought they stopped that. Thought you well, living world. I know they stopped, but I know was it X packs or was it the living world expansions that you could still buy with in-game currency versus straight
I
up
think
purchases?
there was a time where you could do the living worlds, and that was a couple of years back. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought they had changed that. That's why I was asking because I thought I had heard it may have been Taylor that said it, may have been something I watched. I don't know. Okay, one quick question.
yes, sir.
What is your favorite Living Worlds season? Let's
Oh,
say.
wow. Oh man.
Is it Path?
Fire was a good one.
Yeah, that pulled everything together for me. That is probably
Yeah.
my favorite. Was it Heart?
Uh,
I mean,
there's what's cool is that every one of these has like its own things that like really add to the story.
exactly, and they
Um,
all worked. So this game is literally like reading a book. The story is that
yes,
well done.
yes, yes.
At least up
I will
until what
say,
obscure. I mean, I don't know because that's about the time I stopped playing. But I had seen things to where it kind of went off the rails a bit.
a
That sounds
little,
like one I would
yeah.
watch you play instead of actually playing myself.
No, watching somebody play this is not the same as experiencing it because this story, I am for real, is literally like reading a book. It is
Yes.
that well done. I don't give
Okay.
that compliment lightly, not to a game,
Right?
No.
especially an MMO,
Yes.
because usually that
You
is
know,
not their priority.
no, the storytelling is usually the back burner for most of these MMOs, but for Guild Wars, it is what makes Guild Wars so good.
Which is actually
Uh,
hilarious considering it was built as a PvP game to start with. That was its
right?
basis. That's what it was designed to be. And then it changed. And their
Yeah.
PvP is solid. World versus world, that's a different discussion, but their PvP is very good.
It's getting better. It's getting better, but yes, that's
Yeah, but they also keep promising to redo it and rework it and make it better. And I mean, I've heard that myself for over 3 years. And
well,
I
yeah,
know it's been going for a while.
yes, it's been a promise for about the past 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Um, if I would say probably Into Dragons, because to
Okay.
go from a game
Yep.
that was based upon these elder dragons who essentially ruled the world and all the natural elements,
Yep.
and to say, okay, we're gonna kill off all these
And
dragons
start over.
and, and
Yeah.
start
Oh.
over.
That was a little bit of
I
a
was like,
spoiler. Sorry.
yeah, sorry out there if you haven't played the game. Well, not complete spoiler. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, there's still a
But
whole lot you'd miss, but yeah.
I thought that was so well done, and it was done in a way that like you could totally say, oh, that makes sense. It didn't feel forced.
It really didn't. It was
Um,
very natural.
no,
The
and I was worried like when they first came out saying like this is what it End of Dragons. Like, what do you mean this? The
uh-huh.
whole game's based around these
It's
dragons. How
based
are you gonna get
around them.
rid of them?
Exactly.
And they did it so eloquently. I was like, okay, that's I can live with that.
It was a very well done story. Like if they just literally stripped it and put effectively all the dialogue from, let's say, the beginning of the game through End of Dragons, all the cutscene dialogue, like just all the stuff. If they literally just put it into book format, it would be a seller. It is that good.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
It is
it
literally
it
that good.
it would read something like a Tolkien or
Yeah, it is Tolkien esque, and it is also
yeah,
semi Fire and Ice like Game of
yeah.
Thrones
I was gonna
situation
say
in a
a
way.
George Martin type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is great.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so you think End of Dragons, and I don't disagree. The only problem I had, because I believe it was me and you after that,
Hmm.
and we did the what was the thing? We did it for like 2-3 hours one night, and it was effectively doing the same thing that was kind of interspersed or towards the end of End of Dragons. The strike
Oh, like
missions, not strike missions. What was it?
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about. And it was the
yeah.
same thing. Oh, that was the only downside. The story was great, but the gameplay elements, it got a little bit too repetitive. You were
You could tell that they were really trying to stretch it, and
Yeah,
it's like you guys don't need to be doing this.
because you really
It
kept
felt
running
like
the same mission in different
mhm.
backgrounds, backdrops, localities.
It's yeah. To me, it felt very much like an Assassin's Creed game where it's like, okay, I've done this assassination this many times, I've done this stealth mission this many times. It's like you're just doing it to do it,
Yeah, it felt
which
yeah,
Guild Wars usually doesn't do that, but that was one time I'm like,
right. And it
yeah,
definitely stood
uh,
out to me. It's like, y'all, I've never, and I'd gotten to that point. Like, all right, so we're like a couple of expects, 3 expects plus Living World, 4 seasons, and now I'm being very repetitive for some reason. It was a little odd.
agreed. And like I said, I think you could tell that they're like, we need you to go to all these different areas to see them. Like we worked really hard on these areas, and we really want you to like take advantage of the work we put in. But
I mean,
it just kind of
Gotcha.
that's fair. The areas were nice. I mean, the scenery and the backgrounds, it was well done. It was just
yes,
repetitive.
Were they pretty to look at anyway?
Yeah, some look, I've
yes,
seen some shots in that really are very pretty. It's like an old school graphical design. It's not this new stuff.
yeah.
It's got the light and the dark. It's not oversaturated. It's not like weird colors. It's very natural, but it's also very, what do you think, Hunter? Strong or impactful? Which one? Both, depending on
I
where you're
I
at.
would say, let's put it this way. There's a thing in the game called vistas where
Hmm.
you go to look at these viewpoints, and it does like a cam shot of
Like
just
a
like the entire area,
Yeah, like a
like
flyby
a
type situation.
yeah. I mean, it that in itself shows you how much time and effort that they're willing to put into the aesthetics of the game. That they want you to be like, look, this is what we've done, and there's some shots that are just breathtaking.
Yeah, they're
And it's
fantastic.
pretty amazing that they can keep doing that time and time again for a game that's almost a decade or is a decade old.
Over. I think it was
Hmm.
2010 or 2011 when the game launched. So it's closer to
Let's see.
15 now.
Right. But like, I'm a
So,
graphics person. I love to see the pretty stuff. So
and
like,
this game
if it's
offers
not
it.
pretty, I'm not going to play it.
And it doesn't
Uh,
matter like which uh, race, right,
hmm.
that you play, there is always a location that has some striking views. I mean, even if you're
Exactly.
basically a furry lizard, which that's what the Char are, let's just admit it, okay?
But are they pretty furry lizards?
No, they're not. They look like a bull on its back legs with fur instead of, I mean, yeah, anyways. Yeah,
You're gonna get some people angry
I,
with that.
nobody listens to us anyway. It's fine.
Are they yellow?
No, they're not yellow, baby. You can do a little bit of customization, but they're basically brown or black or gray,
Oh,
pretty
well,
Yeah,
much.
earth tones are pretty.
there's not a whole lot of color variation with them.
Right. Okay. On that topic, which was your favorite? Because I remember Itzel Hunter. He was a little bitty what?
Surin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're my favorite, hands down. Bunch of little dwarf looking, well, not dwarf. What would you call them?
A naked mouse.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's like the first thing that comes into your mind, or mine anyway, when you see them. They look like a bald mouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good.
no. Maybe they look more like elves. Maybe they're like a tiny Dobby.
Yeah, well,
You
there you
think?
go. They're like a Dobby.
Yeah,
They're a Dobby.
they're a tiny Dobby. They're like 3 feet tall, and they can be adorable, or they can be very, very weird.
Dobby was
But they're
awesome. He was so cute. Joe gave
but
him a
they're
sock.
very
Mike, is he?
focused on technology and learning and um always creating new things,
Yeah,
which is
they're like the scientists, the push the
yes.
boundary of
Hmm.
knowledge race.
Okay.
Yes.
Whereas the Char would be like the I guess effectively some kind of weird warrior something. I don't know what the
Yeah,
something is, but that's about right.
they're more of a warrior based class.
Right.
Like they like to fight. They're always fighting someone. I mean, they're essentially humans.
Did you play Guild Wars 1?
uh, just barely.
Okay. Did you level cap?
I can't remember because it's been so long
Yeah,
ago.
that was like 20 years ago at this point. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Is there that big of a difference between the two?
I actually looked it up. So Guild Wars 2 is 13. Guild Wars, the original, is 20.
Yep.
And to put that into perspective, World of Warcraft is 21. So
Yeah,
Guild Wars has been around almost as long as
as WoW.
WoW.
Yeah. Which one pulls the numbers now, I wonder? Okay, and here's why I say that, and this is why I'm asking the question, because I know you're looking it up. That's why I'm going to give you some time to do that. Because WoW split, their base split. You had WoW, and then they came back, was it almost a decade ago now, and did WoW Classic, where they kind of rolled it back to old school
Yeah.
WoW. So really, they split their numbers. So it's kind of unfair to compare, but I'm still slightly curious.
WoW still is significantly more popular. It's saying that they have Guild Wars averages around 300,000 players a day, whereas WoW still averages about 1.6 million a day.
Oh,
But here's the
wow.
thing. Yeah, they're quadruple.
Now,
But
is that the game our
but
son-in-law plays? Wow.
no.
Okay.
But here's the upside to Guild Wars. There's no subscription fee.
Exactly.
You buy it, you're done. You're not paying monthly unless WoW
You
changed
actually own that one, huh?
until they shut the servers down. And I mean, Guild Wars 1 is still going 20 years later.
Yeah,
Over
there's still
20 years
people
later.
that play Guild Wars 1.
Yeah. I mean, I own Guild Wars 1 on Steam now. I don't play it, but I own it.
And there's actually quite a few people who actually prefer
1. Yeah.
1 to 2.
There was
I mean,
1 is very, I guess we can say kind of like stuck in that era. You know what I mean? It feels
yes.
more old school. It's like EverQuest esque, but not. It just kind of,
It
yeah, it hits that vibe, right?
yes. And there's a lot of games of that era that kind of hit that, whatever you want to call it, like the proverbial wall, where it just never grew past a certain point as far as like the storyline and the gameplay, and there's just no evolution to it.
Right. And EverQuest was one of the biggest. Then WoW was the biggest. Guild Wars was never the biggest. It was more
No.
like the little kid on the block that was trying to compete, and it has hung around for 2 decades.
Yeah, and I would say that they've done
Yeah.
a phenomenal job
Very
of
much.
holding on to the base that they've had, because in this day and age where you can
There's
be
no
hot one second and
right.
on the next day.
There's no loyalty necessarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's perfectly valid because, like we were talking earlier, we grew up with EA and we grew up with Ubi and blah blah blah, and no, there's no loyalty to them because they don't care about us, so we don't care about them.
Exactly.
It's destruction by their own hand. They're causing
Yeah.
their own problems. It's not the gamer market, it's their stupidity. Like
Yeah, it's the
realistically.
poor marketing. Well, not even marketing. Poor
Mm-hmm.
loyalty to the gamer themselves. You know, you got a bunch of suits in the C-suite telling you how to run a game for people that don't even know how to play a video game.
Do you think that's the only? Let's go a little deeper here. Do you think that these, let's just say AAA companies, because that seems to be like the main ones that do the same thing over and over and over again. Do you think that the whole culture shift they did in their gaming base to appeal to the 1% over the 99% of gamers
Hmm.
is causing their downfall?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
I think that, like I said earlier, I'd rather spend my money on an indie game versus AAA. And I would rather spend my money on a game like Guild Wars, where I know it's a small company doing the right thing by the players, versus, a big company who just wants the almighty dollar.
Right, a cash grab. They're like, we'll
Mm.
start upping the release times, and we'll do it every year, and we'll just keep making money. But we're not going to do anything. We'll just kind of reskin it and throw you a little bit of story. There's really nothing new, but it's a new game. It's got a bigger number behind it. So it's a new version. Like, no, it's really
Yeah.
not. It's the
Well, and
same
that's another
thing.
thing that the Guild Wars came out with. They're like, hey, instead of us doing these giant, massive expansions, like, we're going to try a different approach to things, and we're going to see what it's like to do smaller expansions here and there.
Well,
You know,
okay, yeah, and that's a topic we can talk about too, because this is my take on it. You correct me because you've got more time invested in it here. Well, actually, totally overall, and in the last year or two. Um, do you think? Because this is what I think. Let me just put it this way, and then you say whatever you think. I think they're doing that because let's look at the release frames. Okay, it would take them what, 3 years, sometimes 2 years, to release an expansion. It would take them a year to release a like living world season type deal
yep.
because their staff is so small. However, like we recently stated in the last 20, 30 minutes, their story and everything they did was pretty much perfect and on point to what that game is like by nature in its DNA. Everything is solid. So if they would have sped that time frame up, would it be as good as it is? Which is kind of what it
No.
seems like they're doing, right? It feels like they're trying to up, and the reason they're trying to up the release schedule is to keep interest high on an old game. But they're doing smaller updates, right?
Yeah, so the way that they came out and kind of explained it, and I like this thought process a little bit more, is that one of the biggest complaints that they would always get is that they would spend all this time working on these giant expansions, and there was pretty significant bugs in the game that were not being addressed. So you would have these
Yeah.
big, power distributions for certain classes where it's not even fair. Like, there were some classes that were hitting like for 40 to 50k
So let's say just like
DPS.
Catalyst, maybe, or something.
I don't know. I think that
Yeah, I
it'd
know it's
be
always
interesting to see how
random.
this works. But I think that the biggest thing for me is, like, as long as you focus on what makes the game great, which is the story, and don't really try to rush that portion of it, I don't care how often the expansions come out.
Right, and that's pretty much
But
how
that's
I am.
just my
I mean, it's like we said, it was basically built as a PvP game, and then they
Mhm.
turned it into what it is, which is really great. Honestly, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Just because I hasn't played it in a little bit doesn't mean I don't think it's great. It's just I got a little burnt out after 1,200 hours. Okay, it's fine. But if they start to do the new way of doing things, apparently, to where they're releasing expansions or seasons or something like that, like every 6 months, there's going to be a burnout of a sort because the quality isn't what everybody is used to. There are very high expectations for the story side of the game because everybody knows that the graphical side of the game is older, it's more outdated. It still looks
Yeah.
great. It does. It really does look perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But you also have those players like Taylor that doesn't really pay attention to stories most of the time. They just want to get to the gameplay. But in this one particular game, he did pay attention to the story and he got invested. That's why we both have over like 1,000 hours in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that'll be interesting to see how they handle this, because this isn't the only company that's doing this. Destiny is doing almost the exact same thing, and Destiny's been struggling for a while now too because of just gameplay and microtransactions. But they're taking the same approach where, hey, we're going to do smaller updates versus these big hunkin' ones all at the same time. So I'm just very interested to see if this will be something that's going to catch on, or if this is going to be kind of a bust and not really be what they had anticipated it to
Right.
be.
And they'll just back up and reset and say, all right, we messed up. Because ArenaNet is
Yeah.
actually fairly good at admitting when they mess up. They really are.
Oh, very much
So
so.
does
And
this
that's
company have
another
any
reason
other
I support
popular
them.
games, or is it just really cute?
Does ArenaNet have other popular games? So she's not talking into the mic. They had
Oh.
Guild Wars 1. They got Guild Wars 2. Has ArenaNet done anything else?
Yes, they have.
I can't tell you, but yeah, it does seem like there's one other.
Let's see here.
Weren't they a part of, like, back in the day, like Guild Wars 1? Weren't they a part of Nexon or NetEase or something similar to that? Maybe. Am I imagining that?
I don't know, to be honest.
If I could find my original CDs and case, I could look at it, but I don't know where that is right now. I think I lost that one.
Well, that's fine. I was
Along
just
with
curious.
like the original Titan Quest, which while you're looking, we'll bring up Titan Quest. I'm actually looking forward to Titan Quest 2 when it comes out. Titan Quest was one of my first action RPGs on a PC, and that was very good. And from what I've seen so far, Titan Quest 2 is on track to be very good. And that's Greek mythology, which I'm all up in. I would rather
I
play
love
that than
stuff.
Diablo or Path of Exile.
Agreed. I cannot find any other games, but I'm almost positive they have
I
something.
thought they had like one or two others, but I couldn't tell you. Guild Wars is their thing, though. That's like what they're known for.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Because they're not a big company. I mean, their development staff is what? Like,
They're less than 100.
yeah, they're small
They're tiny.
in the grand scheme of things. But you brought up Destiny, so let's jump on that. Let's go beat the dead horse for a moment.
Hold on,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm going to offend you.
Joys. No, you're not going to offend me, because I gotta hop off, because of the joys of being an older gamer is the children need attention.
Bless
Okay. So let's say we'll just pause this. I may hold this one for a little while, Hunter. We can come
Okay.
back and we can just like continue. I don't care if it's 2 hours long. I'll find like a good three. I mean, we're at an hour and a half. There's still so much
Okay.
more we can get into, buddy.
Well, let's leave them on a little cliffhanger.
So yeah, all right. I'll cut out some of our little meandering right there at the end, and we will pick
Okay.
this up again in the very near future because I honestly enjoyed it.
Yes.
This was fun, and we'll try to branch out and get away from Guild Wars, and we'll get into a little bit more personal stuff.
Yeah.
If you're good
I'm
with
down
it,
for
if
it.
you're good with it, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, buddy, I really do appreciate you doing this. I mean, I know we've been talking about it for about 3 months now. I'm glad we did it, and I really, really do look forward to more in the future.
Me too, bud. It was good talking with you, and it was nice to just touch base again.
Yes, sir. All right, go take
All
care of
right.
your kids, man, and I'll holler at you
Will do.
here in another day or so.
Okay. You guys take care.
All right, bud.
You
Good
too.
night.
Bye.
So that was Hunter.
I like Hunter.
Hunter, I mean, you've talked to Hunter. You've been on calls with Hunter. We've gamed and all been in a call, so you already knew him. It's not like this is new.
Right.
And yeah, he literally does live like a big distance away from us. He's still in the United States, yes, but it's still a pretty good little hop.
Right. I still have so many questions.
I know.
Like,
I can literally sit here and talk to Hunter for hours.
I wanted to ask like so many, but I didn't want to interrupt y'all.
You should have asked. But I'll tell you what. All right, here's what we'll do because we're
I
at.
felt like I was interviewing y'all though.
Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad thing if you took over. But I have I have more history with him, but you have more curiosity on the whole relationship side. And I get that. And that's great. That's why I wanted you to do it because you don't know. If it was like Taylor involved, we would all know everything we're talking about because we all went through it together. You
Right.
don't know because I'm sure that the more we talked, the more you understood that like us being able to do these more challenging things without talking, just because we knew each other and what they were going to do, that it's a it's a very good thing.
I can see that.
Could you see it?
I can see that. I can hear that.
You could hear that. Okay.
I can
All right.
hear that.
I was just checking, and I didn't realize until he said it about his daughter. I was like, I remember when you said, "Yeah, I got like a 2 or 3 month old, 4 month old, whatever the case was." So yeah, we have literally been talking. I'm gonna have to go back later on Steam, and I'll correct this later, and just look and see at like if I can find. I'd probably have to log into Guild Wars actually to find my start date. Because when I
Mhm.
find my character date for my first character, I'll know because I know basically if I started in August, I literally met Hunter around October, November. I met Tiab around September, October. And I could probably go back maybe and look in the guild
Mhm.
and just see. And we were small. I mean, we got up to, we weren't big, we weren't popular or anything like that. We were very tight knit because that's what we wanted. We wanted people that were more like us, more just chill, would talk, chat rather, but we didn't talk. And that's why we didn't get bigger because we didn't have voice then. We just weren't doing it.
Right.
And I'll be honest, on that note, I don't know if we would be or have the same connection if we did. It's actually a very good question. So you keep that one in mind with your little
Okay.
turtle brain, okay? And yeah, and that's something you could ask Hunter. Like, see what his opinion is on that deal. It's like, do you think if y'all had been in voice calls, would you be like as close? Because
Tight knit as y'all are.
we learned each other's rhythms, we learned each other's proclivities, habits. We kind of knew
what each one was going to do.
what the other one was going to do. Just, you didn't have to think. We didn't have to talk. We knew.
That's kind of awesome.
I knew what he was going to do. I knew the character he was playing. I'm like, all right. Because I played a mechanist. So I was an off healer and also a damage dealer. I did a little bit of both.
Right.
And a little bit of a buffer. I was very much a jack of all trades and master of none. That's why I died often. It wasn't Hunter's fault. I say it's his fault. Yes.
Give him a hard time.
But it's not his fault. He is a very good healer. He is a very good teammate, and he is also a very good friend, and I value him immensely. If I have a problem, I can just text him and say, "Look, help me out here," and I can talk to him, like as a person, not a gamer friend, but as a actual personal friend. That's how we are. No, we don't talk every day. We don't talk every week. We might not even talk every month, but the relationship doesn't change.
Right.
Which is cool. When you
It
don't
is cool.
ever see this person and have never seen this person or met this person, it's all from a video game
That is
with
kinda
no
cool.
voice
Right, that's
until
kinda
what? Like 2 years ago, I think we got in voice calls. Maybe a year and a half. 2 years sounds about right though, actually.
It's one of those friendships where you can just not talk and then pick up right where you left off.
Exactly. Which is a little bit odd in a way. I mean, I know it happens. It happens. But it seems to be more rare. I mean, yeah, you can have internet friends, but do you have their phone number? Can you text them out of the
Right.
blue and say, "Hey, bud, I need help with this," and they'll respond? Like, when they're able, you don't
Right.
expect anybody to drop what they're doing just to answer you. That's ridiculous.
Right.
But they will answer. They won't ignore you. And
Where
usually,
it became a real friendship, not
yes,
just an
it's a
internet one.
very deep friendship because he knows a lot about me. He knows a lot about Tay. He knows a lot about you.
Right.
And he's just a good dude. I know a little bit about his family. He doesn't get into his family as much, but he actually knows like half of ours, three-fourths of ours, actually, because you've been on a call with him too.
Right.
And we all just carried on a bunch of stuff and had fun. It's just, I don't know. It seems rare. There's very few people that are like local here that are friends that are like that with me anyway. I mean, yeah, we can
Gotcha.
talk, but it's just, and maybe it's just Hunter's nature.
He's a
That's
pretty
very
good
true.
dude.
Because I'd really like to get into his background because he's an interesting dude. He is. There's things you don't know that I know, and I'm not giving spoilers because we'll get into that the next time he's on.
Gotcha.
And you might be like, "Wow, really?" Because I remember something I said to him, and I'm not going to say it. And he's like, "Well, yeah, that would get you in trouble there." Like, yeah, they probably would. But
now I want to know.
Hunter is a very interesting dude.
Sounds like it. And I love how he gets along with both of y'all.
He's in the middle, like exactly.
Right.
Like we go 25, 35, 45, 55, basically.
Right.
We're all 10 years apart from the next one up.
I get that.
I want to get Tib on here sometime. I know he's busy. He's got his own stuff he's got to deal with. And I've talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, we'll try to do that." And I don't, he's got enough on his plate. I get that, and that's fine. But if we had all four of us plus you could ask so many questions and you would actually have fun. You would have fun. Because, like, all right, and this is not any kind of judgment, and this is not being mean to anybody, but effectively the way it worked was like me and Tib were closer. I mean, yeah, I'm in the middle of Tib and Hunter, but I talk to Tib more. But it's more because of time slot.
Gotcha.
He was on when I was on because we're in the same time zone. Okay. I'm also older. I'm going to bed because I got to go to work.
Right. Makes difference.
Tay and Hunter, with the time difference, they were on more at the same time. So they talked a little bit more. But I can still talk to both of those people the same. It doesn't matter,
Right.
which is cool.
It is cool.
And they both know I'm an idiot.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, there is that. Thank you for pointing that out or agreeing with it when you weren't supposed to. But it's okay. I'm good with it. I accept my flaws. They are
We all have
many.
them.
They are many. But that's what it is.
Same, baby, same.
So I guess unless you have something, and I don't feel like I need to throw up the obligatory squirrel picture tonight.
No, I
So
don't think we do.
we'll leave it on the yellow Discord of you being muted because we're sitting here side by side on the mic. She just had to have this on so she could hear Hunter talk. So she's got her
I really
earbuds
don't wanna
in so
still
she can
have it on
hear.
so I can actually hear you talk. But for some reason, I keep turning it back on when it goes dark.
Plus it takes away
I think
from
it's so
some of the
cute.
internet bandwidth if she was on the other PC logged in. So she just sits here by me because it's easier.
And I like it.
And she likes it, apparently. I don't know why she wants to sit so close to me, but it is what it is.
It's our bonding time.
Well, yeah, it is actually kind of our bonding time, and we can get into that with Hunter if you want to. I mean, I'm good. He is a bit of a therapist, like seriously.
I'd also love to know how he got into that.
He
Don't.
I don't want to
it's
tell.
good.
All right, I'm
Don't
not
tell
going to
his
say
story.
because
I
I
wanna
know he is and he isn't. I'll put it that way. Okay,
Gotcha.
it's a little bit of both. I mean, yes, he is,
I
but
would love to
he's
hear
also
his
not
story.
technically that. Hunter and Tib are both very interesting people,
Right.
and that's probably part of why. And also, Hunter and myself are very similar in a lot of
I
ways.
noticed that.
He
Y'all
is
do have a lot of same opinions
he
on
is
stuff. I've
he
noticed
likes
that.
the construction type stuff. He's the tinkerer. He likes to mess with things and like learn things. Like Tib is the same, but in a different way. We're still very similar in interest, just not necessarily like the things we do.
I get that.
So it's a very cool thing that we can have 4 different people within a 30-year range,
It is cool.
and we can all talk and like I don't know what word to use. Get along is not right. Communicate is not right. It's just like I guess agree at its basic sense. Agree on so many things.
And girl talk, you all click good.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess we do. Yeah, that's true. Is there anything you would like to talk about before we end? Because we're bumping up against 2 hours.
Now, I'm good, I think.
You're good. You
I
got
think
nothing.
I'm good.
All right. Well, I guess that is it for us. We have been the GenCast with our first guest.
Our first guest.
And we really do need 3 people. I know. We also need cameras. That's coming.
Whew.
Probably another. Yeah, you had to put your makeup on, had to put your face on.
I am fix my
I ain't
hair.
worried about my face. It is what it is. Yeah, there's no help for it. But whatever. This is
Makeup
August.
doesn't really help mine, but I do it anyway.
So yeah, probably by October, we'll probably start running cameras. We got a little bit of work to do. There's a little bit of moving things around, et cetera, et cetera. And then we'll be doing the whole camera thing, which is a little scary for me.
It's
You look a
scary
lot
for
younger than I do. I look like 15,
Look,
20
they
years
say
older than I am.
They say the camera adds 10 pounds. So I need to lose at least 50.
Maybe.
Shh.
Oh,
You
okay.
was not supposed to agree
I wasn't
with
supposed
me,
to
hon.
agree. I'm sorry. I apologize. But with that said, yeah, she's done. I've done basically said who we are. I'm Travis. She's Brenda. And that was Hunter, who I will not tell his real name because that is inappropriate. Yeah.
That's right.
So until we get him back on, hopefully in the next week or 2, because like he said, he's got 3 little kids under 10 effectively. So it's always hard just to get him to schedule, get him tied down for a little bit.
Right.
We had
That's
a good
awesome.
hour and 30 minutes uninterrupted.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'll
With
be
little
honest.
ones, that's
I'll
awesome.
be honest. I don't know any time I've been on voice call with Hunter, and we have been uninterrupted for over 45 minutes. So that was impressive. That was nice. Not that I mind his kids, because I've heard them in the background, and they've talked to me and Tay both. And, it's fine. It's not a problem.
I think
But
it's awesome.
it's very hard to get into like a deeper conversation when you start getting interrupted every 5 minutes. But it's not a big deal. If they wind up being in the background one day, it is what it is. If he wants me to cut it out, I might just have to cut things out, because I'm not good enough on the editing side to literally just mute those voices.
We'll get there.
I'd probably have to find another program, because I don't know how to do it, because this is recording all in one track, which makes it very hard. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, we'll be back next week, unless she ditches me, and well, then y'all might just have to put up with me solo, because then I have nobody else to talk to. But we'll see what happens.
It just depends if Mexican with the girls is a thing.
I am more important than Mexican with the girls.
It's once a moment.
But it's not on recording night.
It's very true. I probably want to be named y'all.
Also, one little tidbit.
Okay.
We are going to start going live.
Scary.
Scary. I want to do it on Wednesdays, because you're off Wednesday nights. You don't have the whole studio situation.
I don't.
And we're going to start audio only, and then we'll bring the cameras in when we start getting the cameras going and get all that stuff set up. But that's a thing that is in the works, let's say. I don't know what we should call it. What should we call the Wednesday night talk?
I don't know. We'll have to think about that one.
You better do a lot of thinking. And now you have left the call.
Yeah, I left the call forever ago, but I didn't really think I needed it anymore.
It's fine. You're using the mic, and it's just me and you can hear me, although you still have both earbuds in.
I know. I just hadn't taken them out yet.
I don't know why Discord did that. It has to do with her phone.
But look, it's a turtle. It's cute.
It's a turtle shell. It's not an actual turtle. There's no head.
Either way, it's
cute. There's no turtle. Also, on the turtle, yes, we have started getting Ralph a new home. If anybody paid attention, and that will be done tomorrow. I don't want to dump him in I don't want to put him in a much larger tank overnight. We want to do that while we're awake and watching him, just to make sure he's good. We don't want him to drown, because he's not used to the situation. So we're going to do that tomorrow.
I'll definitely take a picture.
Yeah, we may. That could be like the thumbnail for like the Wednesday night episode, if we do that, like a little Ralph update.
There we go. And then we can finally talk about that movie I watched.
Yeah, we can bring that back. I meant to do that tonight and bring that up to Hunter. We'll see. That may be Wednesday night as well. So we're planning right now.
We are planning right
now.
We'll see.
Do that Wednesday. What is that going to be? August 27th? Oh. Okay, I may not be able to do it that night. I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
That night is
that's somebody's birthday.
Right.
So I may not be able to do that.
Don't say.
Oh, you chimed back in because you unlocked your phone. That is so weird. I unlocked my phone. That is so weird. That
I was actually just going to see what Wednesday night was.
You need to check your Discord settings on your phone.
Wednesday night is the 27th.
Yeah, I know what it is. So, yeah. I know.
That's the only reason I unlocked my phone.
Well, we're definitely.
And I'm off again.
We're definitely you're on. You're good. See you right there.
I'm right there.
Yeah, it'll go away, and I'll hear the badoomp, and that says nope, somebody left. But
I heard a noise in my butt. So.
Well, you're probably just hearing things in your head because you're special like that.
I am special. That's why you love me. Hey, you said I was special in my own head like that. Let me think it.
Okay, I'll let you think it. That's fine.
That's a good idea.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Anything? I'm trying to get something out of you and you're giving me nothing. You're giving me like
Nothing.
the blank stares.
I
Like
don't
I
really
got
know what we
nothing. My
try.
brain is not
My
functional.
brain
I have
does
nothing
not
to say.
function, and
I don't want to talk about Ralph. I don't want to talk about Lila. I don't want to talk about
don't.
the kids.
Well, I
I'm
can
just
talk
like,
about
I'm
the
ready to go to
grandgirl all
bed.
day. I'm just saying.
We're
We don't
leaving
want to get me
her out
started on the
because that would be
grandgirl.
another 2 hours
We're
of
not getting
talking
started
about
on the
her.
grandgirl.
So we're not doing that.
So I can talk about her all day.
So I guess you can say
Good night.
goodbye.
Goodbye. Good
Brat.
night. Brat.
You're a brat.
I'm a brat.
You are Brat 162.
Brat 162.
See, right there.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We will see y'all next week, and maybe we can get Hunter back in the next month, hopefully. I'm not going to hold this episode because this is the weekly episode, but there's that. And she left again. So, yeah, now we're definitely done. Yeah, there's your turtle. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed it. We did. I definitely did.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, could definitely talk to Hunter for another 4 to 6 hours. Easy. No problem.
Whew.
But we're gonna
We're gonna spare y'all from that.
It would be multiple episodes. You're not letting me get off of here because we're right at 2. And
I know. I just keep talking.
like, honestly, I am done editing some of these. We're getting better at it. Kind of. Not as much dead space. I mean, people have to give a little bit of a pause. You have to let people think. You have to let people respond.
Right.
So you got to take a moment,
Right.
like 2-3 seconds to think. Okay, that there's nothing wrong with that. If you get a little bit of dead air, I'm good.
Right.
Now, if it goes on to 30 seconds to a minute, okay,
right, well, you
that's
give
probably
somebody
not
else
the
chance
best.
to say something too, because you don't want to interrupt anybody in the middle of talking, because that's just rude. So you got to give them a second or two to be able to say something.
It's true.
Because if you don't,
then you're just stepping
somebody
on
interrupts you.
You're just stepping
and
on
it's horrible.
Exactly.
It's not fun at all.
But there's also
But
a
that
time
happens
delay.
sometimes.
There's a time delay, and there's a lag, especially on a call. There's a little bit of a lag
I got you.
to where, and I know I'm bad about it. I'm bad about interjecting. But I try to keep them brief.
Do you now?
Mostly.
Okay.
Unless it's like, a certain thing that I feel like I need to say.
Gotcha.
Why do I feel like you're condemning me?
I am not.
For being me.
I would never.
Why are you judging me?
I'm not judging
I don't like
you.
it. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I would never.
I mean, if I just sat here and never said a word, there'd be like 3 minutes of dead air.
You're right. It would.
I know, because you just sit here and look at me. It's like, why aren't you talking?
Well,
at least now we're getting to the point where I can look at you as like talk without saying it. You're like, blah, 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 blah. So you'll say something.
Blah, 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 blah,
exactly. She's like blowing bubbles. Like, blah, 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 blah. Exactly. Yep. All right.
Makes me want to do my turkey call.
Do your turkey call. That's not quite a turkey. I don't
close enough.
No, stop it.
That is close enough.
Brenda Michelle, we gotta sign off. We gotta go.
All
right. So she has been her usual annoying brat-ish self. There's a reason she's called Brat, because she is a brat. She is a spoiled middle child. Have you ever heard of such? Ponder that.
I've got a great dolphin impression too, but I'll save it for next time.
And we will exit on the dolphin impression.
I said I'd save it for next time.
Okay, well, we're not exiting on the dolphin impression. We're just exiting stage left. All right. Have a good one, people.
Bye, y'all.